And I say it all the time. You just can't make this stuff up. And I'm an old man, the last of the Mohicans, like my mama used to say. One of the last ones that yelling from the rooftop, you better wake up. Because this is unbelievable. We have Epstein talking about Bitcoin, saying that those funds that he was donating to MIT went to Bitcoin Core. And we know for a fact what we can trace Epstein back to. That's right, guys. Mossad. You are definitely watching a movie. When this came out today, I wanted to see how many sheep would fall for this and how many sheep could care less. And that was about 99%. So the crypto teacher is telling you now, you better get yourself prepared for something wild that's coming down. Because again, this is unbelievable. And we know at MIT they take the greatest minds. We didn't have Gary Gensler over there who was teaching Bitcoin, blockchain, act like he didn't know anything once he hit the SEC. Again, you can't make this stuff up. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Let's get into the video.
Our next guest was on CNBC. He was expecting Bitcoin to be $150,000 by the end of the year. Want to find out if he's changed his tune since late October, given the recent move in the crypto space. You're looking at Bitcoin right now at $94,632. Michael Saylor is here, strategy founder and executive chairman. Good morning to you. What do you think? 150 by the end of the year? What do you think's happening here?
You know, I think we all want to go to the moon, but if you want to ride the rocket, you got to be prepared to pull the G's. Over 5 years, Bitcoin's had like 6 brutal drawdowns. If you roll the clock back 13 months, we were sitting around 68,000. And then after the Trump election, we had this incredible rally from 68 to 106,000 in 5 weeks. If you go back 14 months, we were about 55,000. And so if you'd said we're going to go from 55,000 to 94,000 in 14 months, that would have exceeded any reasonable investor's expectations. Over 5 years, Bitcoin's up about 50% a year on average for the 5 years. Gold and S&P are setting the cost of capital to 14%. My company's strategy is up 71%, equivalent to NVIDIA. There's no other stock in the S&P that's done any better. So I think the volatility comes with the territory. If you're going to be a Bitcoin investor, you need a 4-year time horizon, and you need to be prepared to handle the volatility in this market.
So when you look at the price right now, and then we'll talk about the implications for strategy, but when you look at the price right now, what does the upside at this moment look like to you, and what does the downside in this moment look like to you?
You know, I feel like we put in a pretty strong base of support around here. There's an incredible amount of leverage coming out of the system, a lot of liquidation. A lot of the OG holders were selling at the $100,000 level, and so I'm fairly comfortable at this level. I would think that we'll build from this base and we'll rally from here. Obviously, it's hard to make a forecast for the end of the year right now, given what's happened over the past few weeks, and especially the shift in the macro environment. But, you know, as you know, my view is Bitcoin's going to outperform gold. It's going to outperform the S&P. It is digital capital. And so if you're a long-term investor, this is the place to be. These tokenized real-world assets, tokenized brands, and DeFi in general. Well, that's a very complicated technical development, and I'm sure that stable coins are going to go from hundreds of billions to trillions of dollars, but it's not really competing with digital capital. No rich person wants to buy the currency instead of an equity or a real estate or a capital asset. 5 times levered. We're very fractionally levered, and our debt that we have is 4.5 years out. So we don't really have any trigger points anytime soon. And if Bitcoin were to fall 80%, we're still over collateralized and we're fine. So our balance sheet's pretty stable. The company's strategy, just like an intelligent bank, would be to build amplification for the common stock using preferred equity. So the equity never comes due. It's a dividend payment declared by the board. It's not a coupon. We can't be in a default. There is no credit default situation from the digital credit that we're selling at this point.
Right, JP Morgan now responding to that social media post earlier in the day from President Trump. Remember, President Trump posted that he wanted his Department of Justice to investigate JP Morgan, former President Bill Clinton, and a host of others for their connections to Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced and now deceased sexual predator. The president's been under a lot of political pressure here for his own connections with Jeffrey Epstein due to these emails that were released earlier in the week. This morning, he called for an investigation into other people's relationships with Jeffrey Epstein, and now JP Morgan responding to that. Here's their statement. They say the government had damning information about his crimes and failed to share it with us or other banks. We regret any association we had with the man, but did not help him commit his heinous acts. We ended our relationship with him years before his arrest on sex trafficking charges. Now, remember, Contessa, that JP Morgan was Jeffrey Epstein's bank for a number of years. We at CNBC detailed that relationship as it came out in court filings about 2 years ago. So this is well-known information about the relationship between JP Morgan and Jeffrey Epstein. Still, the president suggesting that he wants more detail on that relationship, and JP Morgan responding the way they just did.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And you know I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Bitcoin and crypto pulling back. And of course, we see stocks doing the same. The fact is that when the Fed cut, yield rates still moved up. And that's what controls the market, the bond market. And I said over and over again, that's the reason why I go over it on a daily basis. And we have Michael Saylor say he's not worried about it because he's levered out 5 years from now. But next year, if Bitcoin drops 20 to 40%, he's definitely going to be in trouble. And I definitely see us pulling back temporarily the first and second quarter and then starting to move up. Because by then, the Fed will be in a rate cut cycle. Even though they only have about 75 basis points to work with, they will be in a rate cut cycle. And we have Michael Saylor speaks about stable coins. It will be $1 trillion market. And yes, it will. It's nothing but dollars. There's going to be trillions and trillions of stable coins out there. And because these issuers have to hold treasuries, it's going to keep the Fed in control of the money supply. But this money is going to be programmable, being able to tell you what, when, and how to buy. And you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And make sure you join the Patrons. Also, make sure you're hitting that Cash App. Because remember, guys, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And the Crypto Teacher brings the light to you. Because I just went over Jay Clayton. And remember, Trump hired Jay Clayton as the SEC who took the case out on Ripple as he was leaving. Now Trump is tapping Jay Clayton again to come on in with this Epstein movie. Yes, guys, you can't make it up. Like I told you, you can take real life situations and, of course, make a movie out of it. And we see the NWO do it every single time. I'm an old man. I done seen it thousands of times. But we know the sheep have no clue. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we have another CEO. Now it's Walmart riding off into the sun. Because we know these big corporations are about to turn to the machines. There's going to be a whole lot of layoffs. And we know Walmart employs a whole lot of people. But when they turn on these drones and the robots and algorithms, they're not going to need a whole lot of this workforce. Remember, guys, they turned the United States economy into a service economy just for this moment because these machines can do the service part easily. Now, hands-on, it's going to take a little while, but we know They have synthetic brains that they can pop into these machines, connect them to these actual data centers, and they'll be able to pull that data in real time. They'll be able to do anything that a human can do, except go to the Most High and start creating. And remember, the crypto teacher told you.
Attorney General Pam Bondi has chosen a prosecutor to investigate people and companies associated with Jeffrey Epstein, quickly obeying a public request from President Donald Trump. Bondi writes this, quote, "Thank you, Mr. President. SDNY U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton is one of the most capable and trusted prosecutors in the country, and I have asked him to take the lead," end quote. Successor to Doug. The timing of it, not so much of a surprise, and the fact that it's Ferner, also not a surprise. He's sort of been Doug 2.0 waiting in the wings for a while.
Report is that Alibaba allegedly provides tech support for Chinese military operations against targets inside the United States. Now, the paper is citing a national security memo that is allegedly circulating inside the White House for that claim. No comment yet from the White House on this report. The memo allegedly says the Chinese company supplies the People's Liberation Army with access to customer data that includes IP addresses, Wi-Fi information, and payment records, as well as AI-related services. And the FT reports that employees had transferred knowledge about so-called zero-day cyber exploits to the Chinese army. Now, we've reached out to Alibaba for comment. They have not responded to us yet. The FT, though, says that Alibaba told them that it rejects these claims, saying the claims purportedly based on U.S. intelligence that was leaked by your source are complete nonsense. This is plainly an attempt to manipulate public opinion and malign Alibaba. Now, Scott, by law, companies in China have to share information with Beijing when it's requested, and that's one of the reasons why U.S. officials have been skeptical for a long time now of Chinese-owned firms that have access to vast swaths of American data. That law was passed back in 2017, so this has been the case for a while now, Scott. Back over to you.
I mean, this partly was at the very heart of the months, if not last few years, long debate over TikTok. And it's operating exactly in the U.S. and what we were concerned about, which is why the Trump administration just cut the deal that it did.
Yeah, exactly the same issue. And on TikTok, Scott, I mean, we don't have any indication yet that that deal has been consummated. We know that the U.S. side has said that they would like to do a deal, and the Chinese side has been silent on it. And you can see why the Chinese side would be silent on this deal when you imagine the scale of the reach that TikTok has to an entire generation of American voters in terms of the potential propaganda opportunity that provides the Chinese government. It is enormous.
And we get the Alibaba news and crypto. And now we get the Alibaba news and the mainstream media. They're denying it. But of course, we know China, Russia are always going to be the boogeymen in order to get us moved over to the fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows, when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Going to a different economy. And we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box, provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year, 6 to 8% of global GDP, is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Yahshua and Grandma Teen save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Yahshua and Grandma Teen goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.